Morning, Jonathan. Morning, Noel. Okay, wait. While waiting for the others, I am record the meeting first, and then mm, uh, okay. So the first session, we will have our tutorial first. We will discuss about tutorial 3, and then after that, we will continue your practical that you have done on Tuesday last time. Okay, so wait, I open the tutorial first. Ish. Okay, so let's see who still not joining. Ivan here, Farah here, Lim here, Kelvin here, Shaq here, Russell here, Jeremiah here, Noel here, Wong, Daniel, Alvin, Celine, Jonathan, Nathan, Zisheng Wong still missing. Okay, so I think we can just proceed. So I will give name lah with questions. I'm tapping. Okay. Okay, Farah, it's okay. Um, okay, now I'm assigning the questions to the student. So questions one, important roles and responsibility of software project. Okay. Q1, 3, and 4. Okay. So I will ask you a that questions lah. Okay, Farah. Sorry guys, because every time I'm opening my document, I will need to open it using Google. So that's why I'm taking a little bit time when I am opening Office document. Okay, so part three document. Okay. Okay, so for questions one, you not only just need to state the roles and responsibility of the software project manager, but you also need to give a relevant example. Huh? So that's why I will ask 4 person to answer questions number one, because there are four important roles, right? Okay, so the person is questions one, Farah, Ivan, Daniel, and Shak. Okay. Questions number one, Farah, Ivan, Daniel, and Shak. You prepare your answer first, huh? And then questions two, while I finish listing the the student, baru you all answer. Questions B, mm, okay, so questions B, I need one 4, 6. Okay, questions B. Q1B, I will ask two students. So each student, please give me three, three management activity for questions 1B. Yeah? So I will ask Kelvin and Nathan. Okay, Kelvin and Nathan, questions 1B. So questions 2, so I will ask Russell, only one student. Okay, questions 3, I will ask two students. So each student, because it has about four main factors, so each student give me two factor each for questions number 3. Two factor respectively. Okay, so Wong and um, Celine. Wong and Celine. Questions number 3. Questions number 4. Two motivating factors. So only one student can answer this. Noel. Then questions number 5. Question number 5 is Gantt. So questions number 3 also Gantt. So only one person each. Okay, Jonathan. Jonathan and Lim. Okay, questions number 5. Jonathan. Questions number 6. Lim. Okay, sorry. Because taking time just to assign the questions to you all. Okay, so you all can start give the answer in our chat, but during your time, I will need you all to open your mic. Okay. Okay. Okay, Daniel, Ivan already. Wish Ivan give all of the answer. Okay. Okay, so Daniel, can you please open your mic and read your answer? Yes, Daniel, where are you?
Hi, Miss.
Yes. Please read the answer.
Mine is monitor progress to monitor the progression team member to ensure the project complete right on schedule. For example, monitor the progress of the project by organizing a meeting every month to know the progress for the project.
Okay. Okay, so your answer actually ngam, but you need to add a little bit um, additional lah, because you said that to ensure the project complete right on schedule and still within the budget. Okay, so that is the important thing during the monitoring.
Oh,
Uh, add
thank you.
and within budget. Okay.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, so the others pun macam tu juga. Because when you monitor the progress, the most important thing is you still you need to make sure them on schedule and within budget. Okay, so we proceed to questions. Still questions number one, 1A. Ivan. So
Hello.
yeah, if Daniel already answer about monitoring, so you need to answer yang the other points lah, the other responsibility.
Okay.
Uh,
So what I stated here is software engineering managers are responsible for planning and scheduling project development. They supervise the work to ensure that it is carried out to the required standards, and they monitor progress to check that the development is on the time and within the budget.
okay, so here you already answer lah kan, monitor progress to check that development is on time and within budget. So the
Yeah.
most important thing when monitor memang on time and within budget. That is the important thing. And then you already say about scheduling and supervise and planning. Actually, you already answer all lah kan. Um, Planning, scheduling, development project, they supervise the work to ensure. Okay, so I will assume you are answering supervise. Okay, so the other student, Farah and Shak, you give me answer for, I will only read your answer for planning and scheduling lah. Okay, so they supervise the work to ensure that it's carried out to. Okay, so this one also ngam lah. Okay, so this is easy lah, easy punya questions lah for a bachelor, right? It is in the slide already. But make sure later you all don't copy paste 100% from the slide. Okay, so I think every tutorial I will remind you all this, because um it really it really matter. Okay, because the exam letter and the test will be open book. So if you are answering exactly the same with the slide, or you copy paste from internet, it can be detected. And then usually you will not get mark more than half than the provided marks or allocated mark for that questions. So even though that questions didn't specify you need to use your own words, or you need to answer using your own opinion, but make sure you answer it using your own words. Okay, so I think I will repeat this again and again because later during the exam we also as a lecturer we have discussed this previously. Whenever the student answer using the words from slide, memang you cannot get full mark lah. Okay, so shock supervise. Yeah, supervise already. Oh, it's okay lah. Uh, shock answer supervise. They supervise the work to ensure that it's carried out to the required standard. Okay, so I think that planning. Okay, so shock answer for the planning. Software manager are responsible for planning and scheduling project development. Okay, so I know that this actually is from the slide lah, right? Can you please, Shak, elaborate? Um, what are the items that need to be planned by the project manager? Okay, so you know that the project manager will need to do planning. So what is the example of activity or items that need to be planned during the planning? Later I will go back to Ivan also lah, to supervise. Because I want you to give example of what are the items that need to be supervised, or how the project manager supervise the project. Okay, so Farah will be scheduling lah. Okay, so if you say the project manager need to do scheduling, how? Because the questions here, it is actually asking about, you need to elaborate it. You just cannot just give that statement, because it says here with relevant example. Okay, so
O-
Shak, I will wait. Yes,
okay.
better.
So can I elaborate?
Mm.
So like for scheduling, the project manager will be like assigning each of the team member into their um, project task within their time range lah. So like for the development example lah, for the development will be the team of like programming, and then the requirement gathering will be the team analysis. Yeah, something like
Mm.
that. So that's the
Ah,
scheduling for project manager. Their
ah,
task is to assign the team in this
mm.
planning. Yeah.
Okay, so when they are scheduling, you are right lah. When they are scheduling, they are giving, actually, they are separating each of the activity, and then they will give time to each of the activity, the completion time or the period to do that task, and then after that they will assign the stuff lah to that. Okay, so okay, explain like that lah, Okay, so Shak, for planning, actually planning and scheduling will be together lah. They will be always together, because when you are doing the planning, you also doing the scheduling. But I still need to hear from how Shak can explain the planning. What is the item that need to be planned? Okay, Shak. Because why? Later, right? If for this kind of question, sometimes you can answer the short this lah. Okay, the short answer for this, but usually you cannot elaborate, and then that makes you get lower marks lah. So I am training you all to answer by explaining. How much mark deducted if copy paste answer? At most you can get is half mark, but that is the at most. It will depending on the examiner. Okay, but at most you can get half. If for example the questions is the mark for the question allocated is 4, then you at most you can get is 2. But usually, it is based on the marking scheme lah, and based on your CC. Sometimes they can give you 1 over 4. Okay, 1 over 4. For example, if your allocated mark is 2, they can give only 0.5. Okay, 0.5. If the allocated mark is 4, they can only give 1 mark. So it is depending on the examiner or the CC. Okay, so while waiting for Shark, we can proceed to uh, Ivan previously. Okay, so Ivan, how do the project manager supervise the work to ensure it is carried out to the required standard? Okay, so what are the activity when he is doing the supervising?
They will usually do supervising when they are starting the project. So like he will be supervising or like monitoring the team lah. If there's any problems, he will try to solve it or ask the other team members tr- to try and solve that specific problem.
So what the project manager will do? Either he is just looking around, checking for each of his team member, or how?
More like monitoring the project lah, like following the time schedule since he's supervising
Mm,
kan kah?
mm. Okay, so I want to add um when the project manager supervise, you are right also, he needs to compare the progress with the schedule lah kan, either it is still on time or not, and then to make sure that um the project manager may need to do some formal meeting or informal meeting. For example, um, maybe every weekend, not weekend lah, every Friday lah, at the end of the working day of each of the week, then maybe they will have like a formal review to check each other progress, each staff or each team progress. Okay, so that is also the activity that can be done during the supervising. Or uh, I am not sure if I have told you all previously about this. Maybe they will do stand-up meeting or formal meeting lah. Formal meeting meaning you schedule one meeting every week or every Friday to ask the what the progress, and then maybe you can do stand up meeting, because last time when I was a programmer, so we did the stand up meeting, meaning we all memang stand up, and then it is every morning of Friday. Okay, so in that stand-up meeting, each of the team member will tell that, okay, today, this week I have finished these functions. So next week I plan to do this function. Okay, so I have during developing the function I have this constraint. So I think if you all later found or have the same constraint as me, you can ask me lah how I solved that problem previously. Okay, so we are sharing. Okay, so that is also one of the aware how you can supervise. Okay, instead just apa tu, comparing each of the progress with the schedule. Okay, Ivan, because how you will know the progress now if you didn't ask the staff one by one, right? Right, Ivan?
Yeah.
Yeah, because for you to know the progress, you must to go to each of your staff to ask. Takkanlah you go to dia punya Actually, it is okay also lah. Maybe you can go to each of the table of your staff, and then you ask, okay, what is your progress now? But maybe it will be the informal lah, informal kind of meeting. But if you set up a formal way of reviewing, also can by doing what I have said just now lah. So we go back to Shaka. Yeah, supervisor must be busybody. Of course, Kelvin. Separate all the tasks into separate activity. Yeah. So okay, so I have said that previously lah. Usually, when you're doing planning, you will separate all the tasks, and then you need to give the schedule for it. Who is the doer? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so it is. We can proceed lah. I think. Okay, so this one also. If you are answering the planning letter, do answer like this lah. Okay, you just not need to state it, but you need to give relevant explanation how, okay, how the task can be done. Okay, so we proceed to questions 1B. Wait, it's so dark here. Wait, I open my light first. it's going to it's going to have, I mean, Inanam will going to have heavy rain because it's too dark now. Okay, so we proceed to questions 1B, which is Kelvin and Nathan. Okay, wait, I check the answer first. Okay, so Kelvin, can you please open your mic?
Yeah, the how to say
Management
first
activity.
the first management activity is the project monitoring and review. The project manager must keep track of the project progress in terms of time, cost, and quality, and they will also need to compare the actual progress with the planned progress, and then make adjustment if needed if some things
Mm.
happen like that.
Okay, good. Okay, so you all can listen to Kelvin answers, and if you didn't input, or if you don't have the point from Kelvin, you can include it in your answer. Okay, so Kelvin answer is correct lah. I will not need to make him to explain more because he already explained it well.
Oh.
Okay, so we proceed. Okay, thank you, Kelvin.
Oh, only one.
We proceed to Nathan. Oh, um, okay, so yeah, proceed lagi. You need to explain two lagi, right?
Yeah, two more.
Okay.
Second one is the project selection, personnel selection and evaluation. The project manager will need to properly assign the staff to a project lah. Need the proper skill. And then he also need to evaluate them during the project so he can know what they're good at and then what they're bad at also.
Okay, so what skill needed for the selection of the project manager? Because you said just now that it needs skill to select, right? So what is the skill?
Project manager must be very observant and also need to interact with the staff a lot to know, and also need to look at the past record to know what they're good at like that.
Wow, okay, good. Okay, so answer like that, later when you explain. Okay, so good. Okay, so after that, the third.
The third one is the report writing and presentation. The project manager are responsible on reporting the project. They need to write the project properly and in a very easy to understand way. They also must present the information to the information and tasks to the teammates, so they also understand what they all need to do for the project. And
Okay,
also
so not
after finishing the project, you also need to write down need to present all the information like of his everything observed during the project.
Okay, so he only need to present it to his team member or with the client too.
Or separate one, one for his team, one for his client.
Okay, yes. Okay, good. So when the project manager will do the presentation, yes, he will do presentation with his team or with his top management, meaning the developer company, and then he also need to do the presentation to the client. But usually the presentation will be different lah, because usually when you do presentation in front of your client, the information that you give is must not be too technical, because client don't have that skill that developer have, kan? Okay, so yes, that must be two separate presentations lah and reporting. Okay, so good, Kelvin. So we ask Nathan, what else beside whatever Kelvin answered just now?
So my first management activity is proposal writing. It describes the
Mm-hmm.
cost and schedule estimation of the project and how it will be carried out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's all for
Second.
my proposal writing.
Okay.
Yeah, so for my second management activity is project planning and scheduling. Project planning is the process of identifying the activities, milestone, and deliverables. While for project scheduling, it involves separating the total work into separated activities, like
Okay.
separating the whole task into each one for each group
Mm,
member to do.
mm,
So my third one is project costing. Project costing involves estimating the estimation. This to estimate the resources required to complete the project plan. For example, the hardware, software, and people.
mm. Okay, so good. Okay, so Nathan answer also good. Okay, so you all please practice this kind of answering. You need to explain usually how, why. Okay, so if you really don't have you don't have idea how to elaborate, so at least you can give example. Okay, so even that the question C is only just a short questions, or it didn't say give example or what, but as long as it says that you need to elaborate or explain, then maybe if you don't have idea, like I said just now, at least you can give example lah. Okay, instead of us answering why and how, give example. Okay, so good, Nathan and Kelvin, for questions 1B. We only what we already use 40 minutes for questions one only, so we will need to proceed faster lah. For questions number 2, Russell. Yes, Russell.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
How do I explain actually? Because it's a brief proposal.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, so you will need to include what is the objective in your proposal, uh, cost and the schedule based on the scenario given here lah. Only that three lah. So
Yeah.
like the objective of this project is
A customer module and an administrator module.
mm-hmm,
Customers should be able to request, update, or cancel a hardware service ticket, track their hardware service records, update their profile, and invoke a live chat with sales representative.
okay.
Administrators should be able to manage the system and the records and databases.
Mm. Okay, so what I mean, customer and administrator module, what need to do with that? I mean, what we need to do with it? you need to develop.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
don't forget to develop customer and administrator module for Zen hardware sendirian berhad. Okay, so that is the main objective. And then just now you already explained what is the customer and administrator module lah. So then okay for objective, and then the cost
The cost is 10,000 ringgit to cover
okay
service software and hardware costs.
to cover
Understand?
hardware and software,
Software, hardware, and service.
hardware and service. Can you explain more about the service?
Service is in like the the pay, the hourly rate for the developers.
Okay. So schedule.
The schedule is allocated to 3 months' time.
Okay. So finish your proposal. Okay. For this kind of situation, you can come out with three main point here. So it is okay already because you can identify all of that three already. Okay, so when you in the real world letter, you will need to dig more, and then you will come out with whatever needed to be in the proposal lah. But this is only a very starting part. Okay, so how you can dig the proposal, how you can start with your proposal lah. Okay, so this is the three important thing that must be included in the proposal. Okay, thank you, Russell. So the questions number 3, it will be Wong and Celine. 4 main factor. So 2 factor described by Wong, 2 factor described by Celine. Yep, how Wong? Because I am not sure either Zisheng Wong is already joining us. I check. Zisheng Wong. When I checked previously, you haven't joined. Okay, so Wong, yes, can you please open your mic?
Group cohesiveness. The group should have the
Okay.
mindset of a team and not as individuals that are working together. Next,
Okay.
group communication. Group members should communicate more effectively with each other. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, so but I need you to explain. Um, okay, so when the group have the mindset of a team, what will the team get? Mean, okay. So
Uh,
why individual is not good, but while they are working in team, they will be good.
so I have to explain.
Yeah. You explain whatever you think lah right now, your opinion
For
lah.
example, the group should work as a team and not work for himself only.
So that
Yeah, so that so that the goal can be achieved easily. Yeah, so that they can understand each other more easily.
okay lah, boleh lah. Okay, so okay lah. Because when you work as a team, you will make the company goal as your own goal. Okay, so after you have that mindset, every activity or action you will do in that team, you will do it proactively. Proactively meaning nobody will ask you to do that. You voluntarily doing it because you think it is a good thing for to achieve the goal. Okay, so you volunteer to do that, and then you are willing to give more other than just what is been asked by your project manager. Okay, so meaning if he asks you to just develop that module, okay, so maybe if you already finish, you didn't diam, okay, but you already, and then you tell your project manager, even though you already finish your part, and then you because you are proactive, and then you want your project finish faster than the schedule, maybe you will ask your project manager, boss, I already finished my module, then what else I can do now? Okay, so if you are not uh, if you have the individual mindset, if after you finish your module, maybe you will continue doing game. Okay, maybe you do gaming because you already finish your job, ma. Okay, because you are just thinking about yourself. You didn't think about the company or the project. Okay, so that is the example of mindset of team. If you have that mindset, you will be proactive. Okay, so maybe you can explain like that, Lami. Okay, so just now, okay already lah, but add a
Less
little
example.
bit more.
Ah.
Yeah, give more example like I said just now lah. Even though my sentence is not properly constructed. Okay, so for Celine, please give me two other main factor.
So the other main factor is group composition, which
Mm.
is to see whether the selected team members have the right balance of skill, experience, and personality in the team.
Mm.
Next is
Okay.
the group organization, which is to organize the team member with the right amount of work so that they can be satisfied with their work and role in the group.
Okay. So, what are the example? The right balance of skill uh, and experience. Yeah, right balance of skill and experience. Maybe you can give elaborate. You give more elaboration on that.
Um, so they should have the right balance of skill, experience, and personality, such as like they are task oriented or interaction oriented and self oriented. Like since like if they have this kind of skill that they can like proceed with the project well, like since they have the knowledge, enough knowledge for this specific project, so most likely they won't delay and be able to do well. Yeah.
Okay, so ngam also lah. Okay, so another example, you said just now either task oriented or communication oriented, right? Okay, so yes, correct lah. Because if you are the team manager, you need to select the right person to the right project. So if you group all of the shy person just to do develop project A, then who gonna communicate with the client? All of them is shy kan, so all of them have problem in communication, so you don't group all of that shy person in one group to do the project. You must give the variety in that group, in that project. Okay, so this is the case of when your development company have a lot of project, and then you need to assign your staff to each of the project. This is not modular project. So yeah, so correct lah, like what you Celine said. Okay, so we proceed to questions. Miss, can I ask, isn't motivation and productivity level consist of money, job satisfaction, motivation and product, full job design, and motivation? Isn't motivation and productivity level consist of money? You are asking about which questions? You are referring about which questions, Noel? Questions number 3. Group composition, cohesiveness, communication, motivation. organization. So motivation and productivity level. Um, wait, questions. Oh, discuss. Okay, motivation productivity level. Okay. Okay, so actually the money, job satisfaction, thoughtful job, the money and job satisfaction is actually can be fall under I think group organization. Yeah, this point don't have in slide. Okay, so this the money and job satisfaction, I and okay, so what I'm sure now, money and job satisfaction can fall under group organizations because for the group organizations, um, it is the factor where the team or everyone in that group is satisfied and feels valued in that team. So, how we can ensure they will satisfied and feel valued is by giving their money and job. I mean, give the relevant reward lah or salary lah to that staff, and then the job satisfaction is you make them feel that they are valued in the group. Okay, so I think thoughtful job and design leadership, it can be fall under thoughtful job design. Thoughtful job design. Yeah, I think all of that is fall under organization. Yeah, because it is not under composition, it is not under cohesiveness, and it is also not under communication. So what you said just now, yeah, it is all under fall under group organization, because all of these three items will make sure that everyone satisfied and feels valued. Ah. Okay, so we proceed to questions number 4. Okay, oh yes, questions number 4. Okay, Noel. So later, because when you explaining group organizations, you also can explain it by including your 3 point here lah. Okay, Noel? The job, the money, job satisfaction, and thoughtful job design and leadership. Okay, so questions number 4. Wait, who was the student? Okay, Noel. Okay, Noel, questions number 4. Okay, so please, can you please open your mic?
Is pleasant, and the worker will be more motivated to work. Correct, Kamis?
I think you are breaking up just now because
Oh.
I didn't heard. Can you please explain again?
Testing.
Okay, now okay.
Oh, so if physiological means the working environment quality is if it is good, then the worker will be more motivated to work in that workplace. Correct, Kamis?
Yes. And then what is the example of good working environment? Good, yeah.
Like the colleague is like helpful. Yeah, like they don't like think of themselves like that. Yeah, that's all I can think of.
Okay, yes. Okay, so that one is also good, meaning all of the team member is helpful to each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so another example is it is not only based on the communication or how you social with everyone, but also the employer also should make sure that the working environment, all of the facility is tip top lah. For example, if you ask your staff doing web application system, but you give them a poor Wi-Fi connection or internet connection, so how? Cannot also, right? Okay, so um you also as a project manager should make sure that all of the facility needed for the work is fulfilled. Okay, for example, the internet connection lah. Okay, so that is another example of physiological. Okay, so safety.
So for safety, if the workplace involves a lot of risk, which make their life at stake, the worker will be less motivated to work there. Yeah, so that's all.
Okay, so okay, safety.
Because based on the question, the workplace have like electricity, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so correct also lah. Okay, so you are yeah, you are explaining from the physical punya apa tu view, meaning you want them to be safe lah physically. Okay, so another way of makes the or provide the safety feeling to your staff, not only I mean beside whatever you have said just now, like provide what safe environment to your staff, but also maybe the organization may provide long-term employment, maybe by converting all of the part-time or contract employer into full-time employer. So if the staff is already full-time employee, full-time employee, then they also can feel safe lah. Okay, so not only safe by physically but also safe in the heart lah. Safe in the heart. Okay, I mean they will motivate to work more because they will work in that company for a long term, so they will by offering them the full-time employee contract, then it will makes them to work harder because they will think that they will cari makan in that place for a long time because they are the full-time employee already. Okay, so that is the another way of makes your staff feeling safe. Okay, so not only physically lah, like what Noel said. Okay,
Oh, okay.
mm. Okay, so now is 10 a.m. already. But before we proceed to question number 5 and number 6, I want to ask because I already saw that the three groups already give your list of activity lah. But now I want to ask because I haven't have time to look one by one the things that you have submitted previously. Okay, so for the practical, do you think you have enough time uh, to do the Gantt chart for your project or for your system to be the I mean last time, I mean the during Tuesday. Wait lah, I think I check first lah whatever you have submitted. Okay, so I can see that some of you still not completed it. Okay, so it's okay because um, we will use about 10 minutes lah, okay, to discuss questions 5 and 6. After that, you all can continue doing the Gantt chart. But later, if you have questions, you can ask lah today after we discuss the questions number 6 and 5. Okay, so 6 and 5, it will be Jonathan and Lim. Questions number 5, Jonathan. Okay, so Jonathan, can you share your screen so that we can see your Gantt chart? But your Gantt chart,
Yeah, I'll do
you
this.
okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is my question 5. I'm not sure about all that, but I just do that. Okay, so assume that the project starts in January. So here I start in January. So I didn't do like much labeling, but then I divided each month into 4 quarters, like the dots here. So like this is like 1/4 and 1/2. I divide that. So I separated it into A, B, C, D, E, F, G according to this. Predecessor also follow. So let's go one by one. So task A, the duration is 1/4 months, so 1/4. Then continue
Okay.
to B, 0.5, so 0.5. And then C, D, E, F, G is basically the same thing, but then with different durations and predecessor. C is continue after B, so 1, so here's B, and then 1 is until here. But I'm not sure about this overlap means. I try to look in
Overlap.
Google, but then
Okay.
not much result. But then I just guess like this one overlaps to the next D. So I just draw like just empty square thing here. Means like overlap.
Okay.
Yeah.
E.
DE is the same thing. After C, that it will run together for like 1 month. So 1 month with 1/4 overlap of the next process. So overlap. And then F 1.5 months. So 1.5 months until here. Then overlap with half of the next process. So half. And then the last process G half. And then there's another overlap of 1/4. So until April. Like that.
Okay, so your understanding about overlap is correct lah. When it says that it is overlap, and then it says that 1/4, meaning memang 1 week lah, because 1/4 from 1 month. Okay, so it will overlap 1 week, but from where you can see from the predecessor. Okay, so for example, for questions, for the questions, not question, activity, activity, where is the first overlap of activity D, right? Activity D, the predecessor is D, I mean Dadu. Yes, so activity D, C berpula. Okay, C, sorry ya. C, it overlap 1 week, and then the predecessor is B. Okay. So here actually you need to start C 1 week earlier because it need to overlap C and B. Yeah, overlap with the previous, overlap with the predecessor.
So like, hold on, let me change my screen. So like this, like like this guy.
Yeah, 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 correct.
Oh,
It
okay.
it will be overlap with the predecessor.
So overlap
Yes,
the previous predecessor, not the next.
yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
balik.
Okay. So
Okay.
the only thing you make mistake is this one lah. With
Oh,
the
okay.
predecessor, not on with predecessor is whatever it says in the table. Don't assume that the predecessor memang the previous activity. Okay. So for example here, E. The predecessor is C. So you need to make it overlap with C. Don't make it overlap with D. Understand kah?
Like this.
Um, yeah, yeah, because the predecessor is C. Predecessor for E is C. Okay, so it must be overlap with C. Okay, so don't assume that the predecessor, the previous activity, but you must follow the predecessor stated in the equations. Okay, so for example here lah, E, the predecessor must be C. So you need to follow C lah. You need to overlap E with C, not with D.
Hmm.
Okay, understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so correct already lah. Your Gantt chart. I
Okay.
think lah. Based on the okay, so I think you got you it is okay already for questions number 4. Everyone also understand lah, huh? Predecessor is the activity, the previous activity that will influence the start and end date of the successor. Successor is the next activity. Okay, so predecessor, remember it is just not the previous or just the apa tu, the before of the activity. You must follow the predecessor stated in the questions. Okay, so it not necessarily the previous activity. For example, just now lah, if there are E predecessor is it is stated in the slide. It is the predecessor is C. So you must follow the C. Don't follow the D, even though D also before E. Okay, so you must follow the predecessor stated in the slide. Okay, so the definition of predecessor is activity that will give influence of the start and end date of the next activity or successor. We can call the next activity is the successor. Okay, understand? Yes, okay, yes, can. You can use questions, Microsoft Project to answer, and then you can later during the exam, you can copy screenshot lah your MS, your project questions. Yeah, questions 5 and 6 lah because it is both Gantt chart, right? But yeah, so you also can use table because if maybe during the exam you already you cannot open your Microsoft project, then you can use apa lah, not authorized for me to create or edit. Okay, but if exam need to draw, um your exam I am the marker, so I think I can accept a Gantt chart from MS Project lah. Okay, so uh, it is depends on you. Whichever easier for you. Either you want to draw or you can use the Gantt chart. Okay, so if you use Gantt chart, you just need to screenshot lah. Okay, Alvin? Okay, Shark, you have problem. Oh, okay, this one is technical, so we need to check later. Okay, so we proceed to questions number 6. Okay, so six is Lim. Hi Lim, can you please share your screen?
Can we
Okay.
can see?
Mm.
Okay, so the project start from February,
Mm.
and because there is a 1/4 of case here, so we
Mm.
separate each month to 4 columns, so it's easier
Mm.
to illustrate.
Mm.
Okay, so from task A, the duration is only 1/4 month, so we
Mm.
only give darken one of the box. So
Mm.
continue to task B. The predecessor is task A, so we direct darken the box after task A.
Mm.
So move on to task C. Task C, predecessor of task C also is task A, so we continue task C after task A
Mm.
had finished.
Okay.
So task D and task E, the predecessor of both of them is also task C.
Mm.
So both of them should start after C had ended. So they are
Mm.
right here.
Mm.
Uh, and also the next one is task F. The predecessor of task F is E. So after E finish, task F should continue.
Mm.
Okay, so the next one is task G.
Mm.
So note that the predecessor of task G is task E.
Mm.
So E should start right after E ended. G
Mm.
should start right after E is ended.
Mm.
So move on to the next one, H. The predecessor of task H is G.
Mm.
So duration of this task is 1 month. So
Mm.
right after G, 4 column is darkened to illustrate
Mm.
that this is 1 month duration. So move on to task I. Note that this is the only task which have overlap time. So the overlap time is 1/2 month, and the
Mm.
duration of this task also 1/2 month. So
Mm.
they should be uh, right after, before, in the middle of task H, then task I should start, and they should both finish together in
Mm.
in the end of March.
Yeah.
So the last one is J. The duration of J is 1/4. So right after I finish, because the predecessor is I,
Mm.
so right after I finish, J should start. So the whole
Mm.
project will finish in the first week of April.
Okay, yes, correct. Your answer is correct, and your explanation also clear, so I can understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
yes, good, good, Lim. Okay, so all Lim answer is correct lah.
Okay.
Okay, so good. I'm happy because it seems like all of you can understand how to create the Gantt chart well lah. Okay. Yeah, kan Noel? You all of you can I mean Lim explain it clearly and yes, clearly lah I think. I like how no, Lim can explain. Okay, so we proceed to our practical lah. Okay, so right now, okay, wait. I download your project first, and then I will see first because some of you giving the what submitted Microsoft project file, so I need to download that first. Okay, I saw that just now Shark have problem, but we will say later. Too much, too much, betul, too much tab I open. First, okay, so I can see from Celine group. So Celine group 3, B kan Celine group. It's kind of complete. Kan? Wait I check first. Customer module, inventory module, supplier module, payment module, service module. So module integration system and deployment and implementation. Okay, so it's kind of complete already for group 3. Wait I share my screen now. So this is RAD. RAD, you are using RAD process model, right, Celine? Your group? Yeah, okay. So all of you all can see here when you are doing RAD module, like what we have discussed last time. Okay, so your RAD module should be separated by maybe function or module inside your system lah, meaning it is a smaller task, so that you can assign team to each of the module, team or personal. If the module or function is small and can be done by just one person, then you can just put one person lah to that. But if it needs team, then you can put teams lah. Okay, so during the customer module, if you all can see here, in each of the customer module, it will have in each of the modules inside the Tanaki engineering system, it will have the same process. Okay, so for example, customer module, it will have communication. In inventory also, it will have communications. And then in the customer module, it has system planning and system modeling. And then in the inventory also, it has system planning and system modeling. Okay, so and all of this process also will start at the same day. Okay, so it should start at the same day. Okay, so it is similar with supplier. It is also similar with payment, and it is also should be similar with service module. Okay, so after that, after all of the module has finished, what you need to add is one period where all of the module need to be integrated, and then you all also need to do the testing lah after the module, all of the module is integrated. Okay, so it should be um, done by either all of the stuff that involved in the previous model, or maybe you can send a representative from each of the module. If, for example, here your developer and tester, I mean each of the module here, for example, the customer module, it only require one developer and one tester. So during the module integration, so you can ask all of the developer from each of the module. But if each of this module consisting or developed by more than one developer, then you can send one person as the representative from that module to do the integration here. Okay, so the person, I mean the representative from each of the module need to be included in the integration and the testing lah. Okay, so the tester will be do the testing lah. Okay, so but here the system deployment and implementation, what will you implement during the deployment? Can you please explain, group 3? Deployment, yes, I understand, but implementation?
Implementation is like implement into the business. So meaning like the deployment is like the system being installed, and then implementation is like uh, implement the system into the business processes like that. It's not implement something else. It's like implementing the system into the business processes.
Oh.
I also quite
Mm.
curious, should I add implementation or not lah?
So I think don't use the implementation lah, because it is confusing with whatever uh, whatever the process that you have, the implementation process, meaning the coding phases. Okay, so don't use the implementation term lah. I think deployment and maintenance, yes. Okay, Jonathan,
Okay,
group
means
3. Deployment and maintenance. Implementation is not really suitable here because it is, it have a double, it has another meaning. Okay, so with that, I want to see where's your process of, okay, system coding, system testing and validation. Okay, so communication, planning, system modeling. Okay. So system coding here actually, people also usually refer it as a implementation phase, or implementation activity lah. So that's why I said don't use here implementation here, because the deployment will be the activity during the deployment. Deploy meaning you move all of, not move lah, you copy paste whatever you have developed to your client side, and then the maintenance is what you do, whatever changes needed by the client. Okay, so in, yeah. Okay, so the right word there is deployment and maintenance. Okay, so this is kind of um complete already, but we don't have, do you already have the cost? Oh,
yeah,
already.
it's at yeah, there. But then the cost, I kind of have some questions lah about the
Okay.
project manager. Later I ask.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, so What is the questions?
Or it's like Mrs. Last time you say like we should put the project manager on top
Mm.
of the system, right? Meaning
Mm.
at row one, project
Mm.
manager. I was
Yeah.
kind of curious, like, do we need to put like, for example, row 8, the estimation and scheduling that part? Do we need
Row
to
F.
include? Yeah. Do we need to include project manager again? I Yesterday I tested it. I tried to remove. I tried experimenting. I tried to experiment it. Like, if I remove project manager here,
Mm.
with the cost change, or if I remove the top part, yeah, it's with the cost
So it
change.
will reduce lah.
Yeah. So
It will
now,
reduce lah.
I put it at the top part only. So meaning like, this version is kind of outdated already. But then it's not big difference lah. Yeah. So the cost should
Mm.
be around 46K, not 52, because I
If
yeah, because of the
if you
PM. Mm.
because the PM you didn't include in each of the stage lah,
Yeah, like
right?
stage row 8, row 10 for the analysis stuff. Yeah. And also the PM I only included in like one module only. So meaning like if I include in 5 modules, then his pay will like
If
times 5. So for at this time, the one the one Miss you seeing now, it's
mm,
only at the first module only. So yeah.
mm.
Yeah. So now I change it to like everything is at row 1 for PM. So there's no more PM in any of the tasks in each module. Yeah.
Okay. So what I can comment is actually it is depending on this situation is depending on how your top management will give the salary actually. So forgive me if I am wrong previously, but actually because what I was thinking last time is because the project manager will manage all of the module. uh, I mean, the pay is already including to manage all of the module inside the system. But you said that if you didn't give it there, then you can just um, in the costing, you can, I mean, you can directly put the costing, the pay for the project manager in the costing lah. Okay, so wait I open the costing first. You all can understand ka? I mean, put the if you, I mean, your answer now is I think correct also lah because it is depending on the company policy or developer company policy actually. So if your company said that the project manager will need to give will need to be separated. I mean the salary should be separated for each of the module. Then you can do like this lah, and then you can add another in the inside module project manager lah. But if the company give only lump sum salary to the project manager to finish all of this project without even considering how many module inside that project, then you can just give the cost at the top lah. Okay, understand ka, Jonathan?
Yeah. Understand. So now I only
Okay.
put at the top part lah, because we assume like project manager will not handle like overview everything. Yeah. So we only put at the top now.
Yeah. So maybe you need to explain later lah because it is actually solely uh, um, depending on the company policy because usually from my previous work lah. Okay, so when they are doing scheduling, the project manager will given the salary lump sum. It will not be separated based on module. Okay, because the project manager tidak boleh lari from managing each of the module. Okay, so if you like putting them from each of the module, you give salary for the project manager. So later, when the project manager want to manage the inventory module, then you can deduct the mark the salary from the project manager. But cannot actually, because the project manager memang responsible to make sure each of the module inside the project will be completely successful, because the project manager is for the whole project, not for each of the module. But like I said lah, if in the future you meet this kind of situations, maybe the project manager will be assigned to each of the module based on the or maybe your project consisting two project manager, so maybe you can do like this lah. Okay, so I cannot say that this is really correct, this one is not correct. There are no black and white or zero or one answer in this project management. Nah, itulah kan. To project manager sounds like a bad idea. But maybe in the future we don't know kan, the policy of the company. Some of them maybe we haven't encountered this situation that needs two project manager. But maybe in the future, maybe if you have already in the line of this business, in this field, yeah. So, but maybe each of the project manager can separate the project based on the module lah. Okay, so for example here, maybe customer module and inventory module will be handled by one project manager. And then after that, supplier, payment and service module will be handled by one project manager. Maybe we don't know the policy of the business kan. But what I have experienced previously, memang we only have one project manager for one project lah. Yes, to for sure confuse the team. Yeah. So like I said, we cannot say that there are no project manager for one project, because maybe we all of us here haven't encountered that situation yet. Maybe in the future you work, nanti you said that Miss Su tipu lah, I have this project and it have 3 project manager. Okay, so we don't know, because it is based on the policy, based on the standard that is implemented by the company. Some of the company they have their own standard lah. Okay, so for this question, the number the group 3, my comment is remove the implementation and change with the maintenance. Maintenance. And then what else? I want to comment. Seems like this is finished already.
Oh, Miss, I have one question. For each module,
Yes.
right? Can Miss open the communications row at row 3?
Okay.
Yeah. For each module, we start with communication, which is the project initiation. Like, so let's say the owner like say, oh, I want it start today. So then the project starts lah. I'm kind of like not trouble lah. Like I kind of thinking like if we put the project initiation on top of the each module, meaning like we separate it from the modules. So meaning like project initiation first, and then we will go to the modules. So
Customer
meaning
module.
like project initiation, then baru we go to like each modules requirement gathering, like that. Meaning like we take the project initiation out, because if like we say like for each module, like customer module and then inventory module, we have initiation for again, right? It's I don't know, like it's kind of overlapping. So yeah, that's why I put inside the module for now lah.
And double work lah, right? Double work
Like
for
double,
each
you
of
have to,
the component.
yeah. So like the owner had to like, oh, I want to start this 5 times, but so my idea is like if we put the project initiation on top of the module. So for now, like at row 2, meaning everything shift down one by one lah. So owner says initiate, then all the modules start like that. Is it okay if I do that?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
That one is okay also. Okay, so like I said, this project manager is based on the project manager creativity. Okay, so if you want to do it like that, because it's kind of replicate job, right?
Yeah,
Takkanlah
right.
macam each of the module you will need to do the project initiations. No lah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you can do what you have suggested just now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other
So
than that,
meaning project initiation on top of each of the module.
yeah,
Okay.
and then modules, and then first thing of each module is the communication, requirement gathering, then so on lah. So I need shift the communication on top. Yeah lah.
Yes. Because actually, if you are in the field letter, every time the project is already tendered to your company, and then you will need to do first meeting with the client. Okay, so that can be the project initiation. The first
Yeah, that's what I
meeting
thought of
is,
also. Yeah.
yeah, but I forgot the term. They are the breakdown term. We have the term for that first meeting with the client, but I forgot the term. Later, I remember it again. I will tell you all because the term I will need to remember it again. But it is the project initiation meeting lah. Okay. So yeah. So memang in the real world, before you start any project, there will be a meeting with your client to the official meeting with your client that indicating that you are starting that project formally. Okay, so that will be the project initiations meeting lah. Okay, Jonathan. Any more questions?
Yeah, I think that's all already. Basically like the maintenance correction, and then that part. Other than that, okay already. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So you all know lah, right? Even though there are no baseline here or the what happened, what you can do when any of the activity here didn't go as the plan, meaning they are delay, then you know lah how to do that or how to tackle it using your Gantt chart lah, right? If you watch that video again, you can, if you have any delay, then you can compare it with the baseline. You already put baseline lah here. You remember, but what is the baseline? Baseline is the starting schedule of your project. And then after that, when there are any delay letter, one of the project delay, and then the baseline will be stay there here. There will be the gray. Meaning you haven't implemented the baseline because you don't have gray line here. Okay, so if you watch that video later further, okay, so you will encounter some of the term like baseline and then the delay, what happened to your Gantt chart when there is a delay. So you watch that again lah. But you, of course, you cannot show it now in this Gantt chart because we don't have situation where there is a delay lah. Okay, so we proceed to group Russell. Okay, so this is Russell's group. Okay, so Russell's group. Yes, Russell? Do I disturb me? I am not sure. Wait, I check first. Okay, so this is Russell. This is the Gantt chart. Okay, so your Gantt chart name is assignment. So that That is the Gantt chart I open lah. Oh, okay. So I need to download again lah. Ah, but now, beta assign. Oh, my version here is not updated. Wait, I refresh again. Okay. Because the history here is only up until 27 July. Okay, so while you are resubmit, I will proceed to Noel group lah. Copy of Gantt chart. So Noel, yes, you only did the activity lah, like what I suggested last week, but it's okay. You still have time lah. Okay, so actually this time you can improve or complete your Gantt chart lah, this practical time, but you still can do during this week lah. Okay, this week you all need to complete all of your Gantt chart based on my comment and then what we learned from the video. Okay, so for Noel group. So Noel, memang this is the one that you have submitted lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so your group is implementing waterfall. If I'm not mistaken, waterfall, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see the activity first. Requirement definition 2 weeks. So you will do interview and observation, and then after that discussion with stakeholder. After that, you will do the system and software design, interface design, database design, and software design. I think you need to include one more activity here, which is analysis. Before you do design, you need to analyze first. You need to analyze all of the requirement that you have gathered from the first phase here. Okay, Noel?
So
We
requirement.
Yeah.
Requirement analysis.
Requirement analysis. Yes.
Okay.
So you can include that under this lah, under this system requirement analysis and design. System and software requirement analysis and design. And then later you add new requirement activity here lah, sub requirement. Sub activity before the interface design. Okay, Noel?
Oh, okay.
Because we cannot directly go to design without you analyzing whatever information that you have gathered from your client. Okay, so after that, implementation and unit testing for a week. Okay, yes. Okay, now integration and system unit testing. Okay, end-to-end testing also here is acceptance things. Okay. Operation and maintenance, hardware and software installation, data entry, parallel run. Okay, so can you please explain run?
Parallel run means the old system and the new system is run at the same time.
The old system and the new system. You mean the existing system in the client side?
Yeah. Because still not sure, right? New system. So if there's error in the new system, there's a backup in the old system.
Okay, so okay lah, reflected parallel run. Okay, so explain that later lah in your report. What is the parallel run?
Okay.
Okay, so your activity is okay lah. Okay, so this week please complete the Gantt chart lah. Your group don't have problem to open the Microsoft project?
Yeah, no problem. Just that I haven't watched the video yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so only Syak lah have problem kan? Okay, Syak later. Syak is from group Noel kah? Later, I forgot already.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, Syak is here. Okay, so we proceed to Russell. Russell. Okay. So you already apa lah? Okay, so I will download this first. Okay. So Russell also, your group also RAD module, right? RAD module. Okay, because you have okay, so you already implemented that whatever we have discussed with Jonathan group previously lah. You have project initiation. After that, each of the module will have its own phase. Okay, so after that, project initiation, profile module. Okay, module integration, 1 week, system testing, 2 weeks. Okay, deployment and maintenance, system support, system feedback, close meeting. Okay, so project manager owner. Okay, let me check. All of the module should start at the same date. And then each of the team, you will have team analyst, developer, and tester. Okay, so each of the team you will have 3 person. Yeah. Analyst, developer, tester. And then this. Yeah, so after finish system design, you will do coding. Okay, so ops feedback should index outright feedback. Now it is under system deployment, system feedback. Okay, so what is the activity during the system feedback? Russell. Close meeting. Oh, yeah. Close meeting should be close meeting should be after system deployment. I mean, it is same level with the system deployment. It is not under system deployment. Okay. So I think under the close meeting, there should be the system feedback during the close meeting. Okay, so the system feedback should be the start of close meeting. Okay, so I think so far so good lah. I see. Oh, um, uh, so now okay kah my voice? I think so. I said just now is so far so good. Then the system feedback could be under closed meeting. So this closed meeting you should in that out. It must be at the same level with the system deployment, and then you make the system feedback under the closed meeting. Before all this start, should we have time for project initiation with client to discuss requirement? Okay, with that, Kelvin. Yeah, Kelvin. So before all of the modules start, you should have project initiation. Okay, so like what Jonathan Group and Russell Group have had lah here, having here. Okay, so this project initiation, there should be a project initiation. Okay, Kelvin. The project initiation, we will discuss the requirement during the project initiation with the client, but it will not be in details. They just roughly tell what they want from the system. So if we do that, do we need to cut our communication and planning part for our modules? No, because the project initiation, it is only just roughly meeting, a formal meeting that indicate that you and the client have started the project. Yeah, Russell, like that. Yeah. In the project initiation, you will not talk with the boss. Usually the project initiation, it will be the meeting between the manager of your client and then your manager from your development, and then you will from the development team or the software team, you will introduce who is the staff that will do the development letter, so that when the staff approach the client staff, they will not surprise. Okay, so in that meeting also, they will talk about the roughly about the requirement or what they want the system will have lah. But the detail of each of the module will be done after that, because the project initiation is just about 1 until 2 hours lah. If you if you if you directly discuss about planning during that time, then maybe one day also cannot finish. Okay, Kelvin. Mm. Okay, so is close meeting the activity of or the system feedback? um Close meeting is the or the system feedback, meaning what I meant, like just this one, because the closed meeting is like the in project initiation meeting. So you will need to have a closed meeting. So in that closed meeting, you will discuss about the system feedback. Discuss, or you will ask about the system feedback lah. During this meeting, you will also meet the same person with you have met during the project initiation. The top manager, and then maybe the developer also there, but you just listen lah. Usually the boss first yang will talk, and then the boss will maybe give some of the apa tu talk that is summarizing all of the activity that you have done during the development. System feedback need time. Usually, system feedback, um, it is in the close meeting, right? So it will not have a, a time lag, because if you want the overall system feedback, you already can do that during the system maintenance. Still, we still need to put that in the Gantt chart, because the system feedback will be the content of your close meeting. Okay, so if you really want the detailed system feedback, it is actually already done during the system maintenance. Okay, so here, because in the maintenance, you will get all of the feedback from the user. Either they want to request new function, they want to add new, they want to amend some of the functionality they want to add, or maybe they want to adapt to the new technology. It is all you can do during the maintenance period. Okay, so will system feedback involve analyst and tester then? You mean the system feedback from which? From the system deployment? Russell. Okay. Russell, you can share your screen. Okay, so Kelvin said, since it is not included in this, it is already included in the system deployment. Can we cut the system feedback from the close meeting, kah, Kelvin? You want to cut the system feedback uh, from the what close meeting? Yeah. Yes. I mean, it is based on what you want to include in your close meeting lah. So instead of system feedback, you may write there maybe a summary of the development. Okay. So during the close meeting, it is depending on the project manager on what you will discuss during the close meeting lah. Can have project summary? Can, yes. Close meeting can have project summary? Yes, can. Okay, so like I said, all of the activity here is also can be based on the creativity of the project manager. Creativity and policy. Okay, so if your client letter have some policy that stated out during the close meeting, you should have this item, this item, this item. So you need to follow your client lah. But if so far, if you don't have, then you can put in the close meeting, you can have a summary. Okay, so we proceed to Russell. Yes, Russell?
So so it's like this, right?
Hmm.
System development, then post meeting, and then system feedback is activity of post meeting.
Hmm. Yes.
So
So like
system feedback,
hmm.
does it need to involve the analysts and testers?
No need. Because this one is just like in the close meeting, it is like in the meeting and then you discuss the feedback from the client. It is not maybe in the meeting, the fee system feedback, meaning it is not telling, oh okay, we want this amendment, we want to add, we want you to really employ this new technology. No,
Oh, so
because it is
developers
just
not
like
involved.
uh
We don't need the
developer
developer.
may involve, yeah, may involve, but just listening, because it is
Oh, okay.
involving all of the stuff that is included in the project, and then they will listen the summary of that project. So in
Only the
this close
leader.
meeting,
Only the leader
yeah,
do.
will speak, only the leader will speak. Usually the developer, all of the staff, and then the client or the user, the end user, usually they will only listen lah. Okay, so yang the one do the talk will be usually either the project manager of your development company, and then the the representative from the client. Okay, so the representative from the client in this closed meeting, we assume all of the system requirement already completed. So we cannot go to the closed meeting and if there is still pending function or bug of the system. No. Okay.
Yeah.
So the closed meeting meaning to close the project.
Okay, then how about the project initiation?
Mm.
Does it involve any others?
Project initiation. Wait, I change my layout first. Layout above everything. Project initiation. Can I see all of the person involved? Okay, so usually, like I said just now, in the project initiation, it is the attendees usually the same with the closed meeting person. Okay, so whoever attended your project initiation usually will attended the closed meeting lah. Owner manager and staff enough. Owner manager and the staff is staff from what? Where? Your client or the development company? Kelvin, client.
This
Usually
one?
it will involve the staff from the development also. Okay, so
Yeah,
this is
these are the general stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yes.
one is the
Yes,
the
it w- it
the
is needed.
client
SM,
tester client.
yeah, they are needed. They are the end user, right?
Okay.
Some of the SM Lockyoke staff, there will be the admin, right? And then
Yeah.
there will be also the teacher, right? The Lockyoke staff is also the teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever the end user should be in.
Oh,
Okay, so they are important.
students are not involved, right?
Yeah, usually student because it is a lot lah kan. No lah.
Uh,
A
um.
representative, yes.
Oh, okay.
You should put representative lah, but
And how about for system testing? So the staff and the students are student representative.
the staff, I think this staff, right, you need to apa tu kasih details lagi. For example, SM Lokyuk teacher, SM Lokyuk admin.
Cannot just assume the staff supply all
Cannot.
include all of them.
Cannot. You need to be specific because even the cleaner also the staff, right? So do you want the cleaner to involve?
If we write client, and
Client also cannot.
basically everyone already, including
Yeah, it is physically everyone already. So that's why you cannot just use staff,
How many
teacher or
teachers?
admin. Teacher and admin lah, right? Because the system will have admin module, right? If I'm not mistaken, admin, and it also will be used by the teacher. Whoever that use that system will need to be included.
so if we got student also, we student representative also can.
Yeah.
So like this. And testing is also for if for system testing, do I need to include like the software testers from each team?
This is module integration. Yes, for the system testing, it will involve the tester from each of the module lah.
Each
All
of
of
the
them.
four the modules for 4
There
team
are 4
members.
module, right?
Yeah, 4
One,
Yeah,
modules.
because each one already has testing.
Tester, right?
Okay.
Like each module has testing phase,
Mm-hmm.
and then this
So
one
during the
is
system testing, you should you should kumpul all of the tester in the system testing.
So the
uh,
tester from other team also need to test every module, each other's module.
Yeah, because it is during the integration, right? Meaning you in that time you need to test your module after the integration, because there will be a bug during after the integration. So each of the tester from each of the module, they are the expert of their own module, so they know which part that is actually critically needed to be tested. So that's why each of the tester from each of the module should be in during the system testing.
Okay. So it's 106K normal.
Like I said lah, the previous project that we have previously, we have until million lah, but this one is kind of small system, and it is for
For school.
school, right? So surely they will not have this. Not surely lah, I don't know, maybe if they are private, but this is SM Lokyuk is private or not?
No, no public one.
Ah, so this is just estimation lah. We didn't really apa tu? This is just for your lesson. This is not the real world. But later in the future, if you want to for the school lah kan, maybe you can just give just kasih murah sikit lah. 100,000 for school is kind of a lot. And then not every school they want to cooperate lah. Okay, so because this is a big sum of money. Okay, I tell you lah, because last time during my bachelor, my final year project also, like you all lah, I also did develop a student portal for my secondary school last time, SMK Pitas, and I didn't get any. They also don't want to pay for the server. Okay, so I use the free server, and then after that it is shut down already because there are no, it is free, right? So it is depends on the provider to shut it down or not.
Okay.
So only integration need all team tester, or can each module have only one tester?
Wait, integration? I only put the developers.
In the integration, the developer also needed.
No, I mean, I only put the developers.
Ah,
Only the system testing, we need the testers.
wait. Oh yeah. So for the integration, you need developer, and system testing, you need tester. So there will be no tester during the module integration lah.
Okay. Okay. So do I resubmit this or?
Yeah, resubmit lah.
Okay.
And then later, if you want to add anything, you can add. Because this is whatever you have submitted now, you can still amend it up until week 12 lah, the final submission date. So I will not mark that. I will just comment lah. Okay, so whatever needed lah. Okay, so if you have any amendment letter, you can amend, and then the one that I will mark is the final items, that final assignment that you will submit later. Okay, so we already 11:10 a.m. and then shark problem still not apa, uh, 11. I still have time, but shark, do you have time? Do you all have class after this?
Yeah, 2 o'clock.
Huh?
2 o'clock.
12. So now
2.
11. Okay, so for those who don't have any questions, you all can dismiss lah. But chat, maybe you can stay. You will show me your screen. Okay, so bye. Bye. To
Miss,
those who
before
don't.
we leave,
Yes.
before we leave kan, so the previous kan chat we all have to follow lah kan, include the
Mm.
course, the name.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.